Um, okay, so last session, you guys were in the mansion still. You were still trying to figure out like how to get out. You kind of figured out that there was a secret passcode that you had to try and find through finding all of these different books with the different what do you call it, like the letters on the yeah, the binding of the books. You had to try and find all the letters to be able to figure out what the code was. You were able to find all of them. You had, I believe there was two or three missing when we started the session that you guys had to try and find. So you finished looking around the second floor. You found that there was a room with a like a bunch of telescopes and a starry sky, and you were able to solve that puzzle pretty quickly. It led you into another room that had like a very big bookcase that had like chains all around it and stuff. Um, Crow basically was like, nope, been there, like, don't want to deal with that. So you left, trying to persuade Scylla that there was nothing in there. Scylla was all up on you, being like, yeah, no, there definitely is something in there, and you went and saw it. And I think you called him out like three times in the last session for different things. Like you were on top of it for the entire session when it came to like what Crow was and wasn't saying. So you had fought this like big library chain thing, and you ended up getting a mall from it, or at least a book on a chain that has the mall stats. Um, and what else did you guys do? You also went down to the basement. You discovered there was like a laboratory kind of thing going on down there. There were like test tubes and like weird creatures in jars. Xavier had to fight a bunch of hands, and he was doing a really hard, like a really poor job with it, and most people weren't helping.
Twice and then I beat up.
Yep, yep, and yeah, like you not only got beat up and passed out at one point, but you also were being like the other people were helping the hands, not you, because of how badly their rolls were going. So yeah, that was an interesting fight. Definitely did not need to be that difficult, but yeah, you were able to find all of the books, and you were able to you had found this other room that was like a ritual circle kind of thing, and you kind of figured out like, okay, we have to bring the books in there, say the word in the room, and then you were able to escape from the mansion. Because of escaping from the mansion, Cabbage or whatever your name is now, Ray, you were able to see that there was like another part of the what do you call it, of the book of the chapter that was revealed to you from the original book, and it basically gave you the components and like the spell working for Mordekainen's Magnificent Mansion. You can assume that it is the permanent version. So if you can ever get to the point where you can cast that spell, because it is a high level spell, it's like a level 6 spell or something. If you can ever get to the point where you can cast it, it will become a permanent Magnificent Mansion. The other thing is, I don't know if your character would have realized this or not. It's not necessarily pertaining to just you, Ray. Like anyone that can cast a Mordekainen's Magnificent Mansion can cast a spell using the book. So theoretically, if you were to ever meet another wizard that is high enough level to be able to do that, they can cast it also. So it's not just yours, Ray. Like it's anyone that can read that spell, basically. And I believe out of all your characters, the only one that can cast that spell is Ray, because it's only for bards and wizards. What else? And then, so yeah, that's pretty much the end of the session, because pretty much right after that, you had traveled down the tunnel for a little bit longer, like a few more hours, and you had heard a voice kind of, well, actually, Xavier heard a voice in his head a few times of this, like, kind of womanish voice kind of saying, like, help, please help me. I'm trapped right now. And you were able to find this, like, entrance to this, an entrance to a stairwell, basically. And you all were pretty reluctant at first to go down, because you were just hearing a voice in your heads, and you're like, okay, I don't know what this is. But after Xavier went down, Crow followed him. I believe it was Glabagool that actually got you guys to actually want to go down at all. Like, I think if Glabagool didn't go down with Xavier, y'all probably would have been like, okay, Xavier, have fun going on your own adventure. We're going to just leave you to it. But Glabagool wanted adventures, so I think that's kind of what got you guys to go down. And that's where we ended. Oh, and one other thing, you all heard another voice in your head when you had left the book, and I'm an awful DM, and I did not write down the exact wording of what I said, but it had something along the lines of Renbu is free. So don't forget that that's a thing that might have happened. All right, yes. So we're going to start off the session with you guys going down the stairs. So Xavier was heading down, Glabagool was right behind him, and Crow looks like you were behind Glabagool as well. As you guys head down these stairs, so it just kind of like wraps around this little area and it heads down farther. Okay, so you guys head down these stairs. I'm assuming you're going in kind of the order that your characters are right now. Like it's probably Xavier, Glabagool, Crow, Scylla, and Ray. Is that kind of the order that you guys are going down the stairs in?
I would assume so, yeah.
Okay.
Just on my shoulders.
Yeah. Pitch is on your shoulders. Aspen's behind you, Crow. So you guys head down the stairs for a little bit. I revealed the next area, so if you want to go ahead and put your characters in this room right here, the one that I revealed just a little bit to the right of where you are right now. You see this room. You go down the stairs and you find yourselves in this kind of like big open space. So you lead down to what appears to be kind of like a shrine. There seems to be like shreds of dusty tapestries lying scattered across the floor. You see that like the walls are covered in friezes that are defaced. They kind of have like deep gouges in them.
Dusty tapestry.
And there's also an altar of like pale gray marble that stands, and it's also gouged and cracked against the wall. It's this one right here. You also notice that there is a door directly ahead of you and a door to the south of where you're standing. The voice does kind of pipe up in your head, Xavier, and she says, you're down here? Oh, okay. I don't know where you are. I don't really know the layout of this place, but please hurry.
Okay.
Oh, where are we going next? Can I look at the tapestries?
Yeah. Why don't you roll an investigation check as you kind of look around?
Yes.
Okay, so Gabrielle, you got 9. Yeah, so you're kind of looking at these tapestries, and nothing really looks familiar. Like it's not like there's any logos of like agencies or like any like cults or religious groups. Like there's nothing that you can really figure out from them, because they're pretty old too. Like you notice that like it was very dusty. Like when you hold it, they're like dust is on your hands. It's like thick. I will say that it looks like the tears were kind of new though, because you did notice as you were like picking up some of them that like some of the dust did look like it was disturbed, like some of it. Not like you see footprints or anything like that, but you just notice that like there's some spots that are lighter than others, dust-wise.
Looks like some people might have been here recently making a mess or whatever.
Yeah. As far as like the
adventurers, maybe? I don't know.
Sereth kind of looks around also, and he says, I don't know if this place has been touched in a while. I mean, yeah, there's dust that's, unsettled, but I don't really see... I don't know. I mean...
Do I recognize anything in the room?
You can roll investigation check, yeah. To see if you recognize anything different. You don't really know what the tapestries are denoting, or what they stand for. I will say that you are sure that the damage to this room, like the gouges and the scratches and stuff like that, they are definitely recent. And you're pretty sure that the creatures that had created them weren't human, because you're looking around and Sereth's right, you don't see any footprints or anything. So the only way that that's possible is if they were like flying or incorporeal or like something along those lines, to be able to have created that kind of damage, but to not have left tracks on the ground.
And if I go over to this, I forgot what you said it was.
Yeah, you would have. That's probably the place you would have noticed that the most. That like altar. It's a pretty barren altar. Like there's no like symbolism or anything on the altar. It's just like plain marble. Like it probably was meant more to like hold like a bowl or like something like that. Like not necessarily anything important. Just like it's just a place to put stuff. Like a fancy table, basically.
I'm gonna go stand on the fancy table with Pidge on my shoulders.
Yeah, you stand on the fancy table, and I mean, it's a marble table. You're standing on a marble table. Nothing happens. Yeah, so you sit on the table and nothing happens.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are 2 doors that are closed in this room.
I suppose I'll go open it for it.
Go.
Let's try this one. I'm gonna stealthily open it. Quietly open it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's unlocked. You're able to open it. Roll a stealth check if you would like. 16. Yeah, you're stealthy. Okay, so you open the door and you see. Hold on. So you see in this room, there are 4 stone sarcophagi, marked with like resting places of, like names. Like there are different names that are written in. What languages do you speak?
I speak. Let me scroll down to my language list. Common, Infernal, and Celestial.
You are able to read these names because they are in Celestial.
Oh yeah.
You read. They're actually not names per se. What's actually written on these is it's kind of like a very short little title, and it's Bryce's 4 servants. So each of them has like Bryce's servant 1, 2, 3, and 4 written on them.
I'm gonna peek in. Say, hey, does anyone know a Bryce?
Bryces, Brysis.
Bryces.
I-S.
Does the thing sound familiar?
Roll history check.
Can we all roll history checks or just?
Yeah. Any of you can.
13.
I don't think any of you necessarily know who Bryces is.
Well, especially not me.
Yeah, definitely not you. I think with your history checks, I don't think anything really comes to mind with the name. It just kind of seems like a name. I will have you guys roll a perception check though, just to see if you notice anything else about the sarcophagi.
I'm not going in the room yet. I'm still chilling out in this one.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm also chilling out here, so.
If you're standing at the doorway, you can still roll a perception check because you can still see into the room. It's not that big. I guess for those of you that are standing at the doorway though, roll with disadvantage just because you're kind of just like.
Oh, Matt, I hate you.
So Theo, I'll just take your 7 from that roll since that's technically disadvantage.
I really hate you. I
Why?
rolled a nat 20 and an 8.
Hey,
Okay.
you should have walked into the room then, yeah.
You said it was history or religion?
This was perception.
This was perception.
Yeah.
So this ends up as
11,
11.
okay. So 11, 12 for Gabrielle, and 7 for... are you rolling your perception check, Xavier? Okay, yeah. You guys are just kind of looking around. You don't really notice anything. You don't really notice anything else. The sarcophagi are very well built. They're also made out of marble. And like there is a lot of dust on them, kind of similar to the other room, but they're just really well built. It doesn't look like anything. There aren't any gouge marks in this room. That is one thing that you notice. Most of you, is that there's no like gouge marks. There's nothing like the other room in this one.
What is this?
That is a urn.
Anything on the urn? Any words of wisdom?
No, it looks like it's just plain. It's just a plain urn.
I'm gonna crack open this urn.
You're gonna open it earnestly?
You open the urn and you see ashes, technically. And as you open the urn, the like lids of the sarcophagi start to like shift and waver, and a bunch of specters come out from it. And I would like you guys to roll initiative.
Going into that room was a bad idea.
Hold on, wait. Never
Hey, it
mind.
would have been fine if Ray didn't touch an urn.
Yeah, I'm blaming Ray for this one. Who sees an urn and their first response is to pop it open?
Yeah.
See, I was like, I want to look in the sarcophagi, but obviously that's gonna disturb what's in there. But maybe they'll be fine with me opening this urn.
There.
Okay, before I write this down, I'll go ahead and go, because it is the Spectre's turns, actually. They got nat 20s. Alright, so the Spectre is going to... Well, all 4 of them. What are they going to do? I guess they really only have one move, huh? They're just gonna try and touch you. They're gonna all come and touch you, Gabrielle.
I need an adult.
They're literally just going to wander right up next to you and try and grab you. Okay, so the first one's a 9. 7. 14.
That one got me.
And a dirty 20. Okay, so 2 of them hit. 27 points of necrotic damage.
Necrotic damage.
Yes.
Okay.
And can you roll 2 con saving throws, please? 1 for each touch.
Okay, how much? How much?
27.
Okay, so I can answer that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then what were the saves?
2 con saves. Did you fail? You failed one of them. So you're going to decrease your maximum hit points by the damage taken, which for that one it would have been 10. So until I tell you when, decrease your maximum hit points by 10. And it looks like that specter was got some tasty soul in that touch. All right, so that is the specter's turns. Now it is Scylla. So Scylla, you are obviously not near, but you can see these specters all of a sudden coming out of the sarcophagi and going towards where you assume Ray is.
I'm gonna go, jeez. Wander up this way a little bit. And I'm gonna use a ranged spell for sure.
Who?
Yeah, I'm gonna use Magic Missile.
Okay. Which one are you aiming at?
Huh?
Are you aiming at 1 or 3 of them, or like how are you doing this?
I'm gonna aim at 3 of them. I'm just, like, this one. Hold on. My computer is really struggling tonight. Yeah, those 3.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me how much damage. 3. Okay, yeah. So you kind of shoot. You're pretty far away, but you kind of point. I forget. Do you have like a staff or something that you usually use?
I have an arcane focus.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of like point your arcane focus towards the doorway, and a bunch of magic missiles kind of shoot out from it and hit these incorporeal specters. How, you say? I don't know, but it did it because it's force damage, and force damage hurts everything. So
Magic.
yeah, it's literally magic. All right, so that is your turn. So are you ending your turn there? You're just gonna stand there and feel good that you just did some damage?
I'm gonna yell out, "Don't come in my vicinity until I've done my move."
That's not scary at all. All right then. Next up is, why did I write Xavier's name twice? Did I mean someone else? Because it's definitely not your turn yet. Oh no, it is. I wrote your name twice because I forgot about the initiative thing. Xavier, it is your turn.
Is that door shut?
No,
No.
the one on the one right here is open. I have no way of denoting that that's open.
Where
I'm sorry.
was I? Here.
You were, yeah.
My distance, I think, is 30, so I could get to, like, here. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use my breath weapon.
Okay. So
Can I
what
move
is?
and use my breath weapon or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What is the line that you are directing your weapon at? So it's a 5-foot line. Okay. So just those 2 that you're aiming at.
Yeah, that's the only ones I can hit.
Okay. Those are dex
'Cause I would hit a wall
saves.
here,
Yeah.
and that's the best way to do it.
Okay. So one of them got a 19, and another one got a 5. So one of them fails, one of them succeeds. Go ahead and roll your damage.
8.
Okay. That's lightning damage, right?
Correct.
Do they take? They resist lightning damage, so they will not. It will not hurt as much as it could have.
Fuck. Okay.
But you still do some damage. Okay, so that is your turn. Next up is Ray. All right, what are you doing that's making people stay away from you?
I'm gonna do a second level thunder wave.
Ah, yes. Yes, of course. Okay, so that is a con saving throw. And a 15-foot cube. Okay, is Xavier in this cube? No, just barely. All right, so we'll do a con save. What even is a Spectre's con? That's a question. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. All right, so one of them's an 18. One's a 9. Then we got a 17 and a 12. So looks like
Hit 2 of them.
yep, 2 of them hit.
Okay, so I roll.
Does it do half damage for? Yeah, half damage. Okay.
Mason is going berserk.
15 points of thunder damage. Do they?
And if they fail, they get pushed 10 feet away.
Okay. They also resist thunder damage, so that will be halved. We'll say that the 2 that were in the line of the breath weapon are the ones that failed because it makes sense. Like they were kind of hit by this lightning breath, and then all of a sudden you kind of shot out thunder, so they were a bit caught off guard from it. So we'll move them 10 feet. Okay, is that your turn?
I'm trying to see if I can maybe heal myself in some way, but you know what? I don't think. Let's see.
Oh yeah, you're not doing so hot, are you?
No, I'm not.
After being life drained.
So, I mean, I guess I'll give inspiration to whoever is next. I'll do that instead.
That'd be Crow.
I'll toll the dead. I guess.
Which one are you aiming at?
This one.
That's a wisdom save.
Correct.
Wisdom, they have +0, so 11.
Fail.
All right, and it got damaged, so.
So it's gonna take 7 damage.
Okay. Dang. It is close to being dead. It looks like it's really wispy right now.
Well, that's my turn.
Okay. Top of the round then, it is the Spectres. So now there's a few more people that have shown interest in this fight. So the 2 that are near Ray are going to continue to try and touch her. The other 2 that were pushed are going to make their way over to Xavier. So I'll go ahead and make two rolls for both of you. So Xavier, yours is going to be a 19 to hit and a 14 to hit.
1 hits.
Okay. And then for Ray, that's going to be a 21 to hit and a 15 to hit.
Yeah, those both hit.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and do Xavier first. You said 1 hits for you, right, Xavier?
1, correct.
It's going to be 14 points of necrotic damage, and can you roll a con saving throw? And you're good on that, so just 14 points of necrotic. And then Ray, yours is going to be 20 points of necrotic damage, and can you roll 2 con saves?
Okay, well, can we divide those up? I don't know. I'm gonna go down after just one.
Oh. Well, if you go down, you go down. Well, I guess... No, okay, well, the first hit would have been a 12. 12 points of necrotic.
Okay, yes, I am down.
Okay, so roll 1 con save then. Because you still might have your HP max lowered. Yep, you do. Okay, so lower your HP max by 12 more.
Oh, wait, that's right, I take half damage. Gosh, I need to remember this. Okay, I still would have gone down.
Oh. So then lower it by 6.
Okay.
Maybe you take half. And
My max HP is very bad.
you would have taken half. You would have lowered it by half from the last one too. 'Cause I think you lowered it by 10, didn't you? Before?
Yes.
Yeah, so lower it by 5 instead for the first one. Because I forgot that was a thing that you did. So in total,
What's your max HP at right now?
after the 2.
7?
7? What?
I need to do stuff.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well you're passed out and your max HP is at 7, so that's cool.
Yep,
All
very cool.
right. And then Xavier, you're fine. Okay, so that is their turns. Scylla, it is your turn. So you just saw more like kind of energy drained from both of them actually, and it looks like Ray just passed out.
Okay, how high are the ceilings in here?
That's a good question.
How high are the ceilings?
They are 10 feet.
Ooh, that's not very high.
No, it is not. Well, wait. Actually, the rooms are 15 feet. The hallway is 10 feet.
The hallway is in the area where Xavier and the two
Yes.
ghouls are?
Yes.
Okay. Let me think about exactly how I want to do this. Alright, I'm going to cast Spider Climb on myself,
Okay.
and I'm going to crawl onto the ceiling, and I think I'll only have time to make my way over to...
So that'd be.
I don't think I'll have time to, like, attack once I'm up there, but let me figure out how far I can get.
Yeah, that'd be 10 feet to get to the wall, and then another. Actually, no, 15 feet. 15 feet to get up to the wall, another 10 feet to get up to the ceiling. So that'd be 25 feet to be at the ceiling, like right here
Okay.
at the doorway.
And also, can I try to do that stealthily?
Roll a stealth check. They're distracted, so I'll just have it be a straight check. 15. Okay, I mean, you feel like you're being stealthy. Seems
Cool.
as though you are. I'm gonna put a
I'm
snail
just
on
gonna
you.
mark somehow that I'm on the ceiling because
I put a snail. Because I couldn't think of anything else to put.
I was looking for a spider. Is there a spider in here?
No, I don't see one.
Tragic. Alright, I will... Ooh, I don't know what this is. Can I be this one?
Sure. God, I don't know what that is
Alright.
either. Huh, okay.
I think we put the snail at the same time I put the other one.
It's gone. Oh, you're good. You're good.
Is it, okay, alright, cool. Alright, so I guess I'll just wait for my next turn for this to pay off.
Well, so that's just. Oh yeah, because you used your action to cast a spell. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you are. I'll go ahead and roll real quick just to see if they notice you, but I don't think they do. Be with disadvantage. Ugh. Yeah, neither of them notice you. You seem like you're well hidden.
Cool.
Okay, so that is your turn, Xavier. You just got touched and it hurt.
Have melee attacks been useful?
So I
Or
don't
does
think
it look like my sword would just go
no
right
one's done a melee attack yet, so you're not sure. Judging by the fact that like your lightning and the thunder damage from Ray didn't seem like it was like super effective, you roll an insight check just to see if like you can kind of guess, I guess, because no one's done it yet. Yeah, you're not sure if like melee is gonna be good. I mean, they're incorporeal, so like it might not be, but at the same time it might still do damage. Yeah. So yeah, you can go ahead. 12 to hit. That just hits.
Ooh.
Which one are you hitting? Okay, the one in front of you. It looks like it's not doing well. I will say, because you were right in front of it and you were kind of like looking out for it, it did look like it resisted it. So it didn't look like it did as much damage as it could have.
But it's not looking well.
It's not looking well at all. It looks just as bad as the other one that's next to you. Like they both look really wavery, like they're barely there.
Okay.
Okay, so that is your turn. Ray, roll me a death save. 15. Okay, that is a success. And then Crow.
The two specters that are next to Ray, are they? Do they look weak?
They look like they're wavering a little bit, but they're much better conditioned than the other two.
Okay. I'm gonna run in. I'll take my opportunity attack. Sorry.
Yep. One of them is a 9, and the other one's a nat 20.
Well, on that 20 hits.
So that's gonna be 26 points of necrotic damage, and roll con save. It's a crit, man.
26 points of necrotic damage.
With the crit, yes.
Well, I go down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I will say this. I'll give you this, okay? If you want to use, I normally you can't do this, but if you want to use your bardic inspiration, I will give that one disadvantage.
Sure.
Okay. I will give that
26
chance.
is more than my max. Like,
Yeah. Okay, that's still That still would have hit. It was a 22. But it wouldn't have been 26. It would have been 13 points of necrotic. So,
Okay. And Constitution save, right?
yes. So, still take the 13.
17 plus 2, so 19.
Okay, you're fine. So, yeah, you take 13 points of necrotic damage, and your Bardic Inspiration is gone.
Okay. I'm going to turn undead.
Ooh, okay. It's a Wisdom save, right?
Yeah. All of them have to do a wisdom save, and the only thing if they fail, the only thing they can ever do for a minute, as long as no one hits them, is just run.
Run.
They can only dash.
All right, what's their Wisdom? Oh my. Okay, one of them is an 18. One of them is a 16. 18 and a 9.
Well, the 9 fails. What the fuck are we fighting? We're level 3, man.
Look, specters are only what? They're a CR. Oh, they're a CR of 1. They're a CR 1.
Heck, baby.
This is not good. And whichever one failed, I want to see that thing run away. No one hit. It's just gonna run.
Yeah, okay. On his turn, he will run. So, Ray, as you're waking up, you notice that one of the specters that knocked you out is running away. So you both will have attack of opportunity. Actually, gosh, most of you will have attack of opportunity. Actually, I don't think Scylla can. Scylla, because he's on the ground, so I don't think you can reach him. But Ray, Crow, and Xavier have attack of opportunity.
So the one that's running away.
Yes.
As I spare the die, I'm just gonna say, don't hit it.
It's actually off screen because it has a movement of 50 feet, so it is gone.
Whoa.
Well, actually, it's not gone. It'd be 5, 10, 15, 20. It'd be like right here on the other side of the map.
Well, it doesn't run yet. On its turn, it can use a dash action.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
It moved 100 feet because that's its dash. All right, well, that's turn. The other ones are going to continue attacking Xavier, and the one's going to attack you, Crow. So, Crow, we'll do you first. That's a 23 to hit.
That hits.
And then Xavier, a 7 and an 11.
I succeed on the con save.
Both
Okay.
miss.
Thank you.
A dirty 20.
Okay, so you take 12 points of necrotic damage.
I'm unconscious.
Yep. Okay, so you are passed out. All right, that is the Spectre's turn. Scylla, you're on the ceiling.
Alright, I'm gonna move to be directly above these two.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use poison spray, and I'm gonna use a sorcery point so that I can aim it at both of these two ghouls here.
Ooh, okay.
So let me roll that.
You're doing the twinning spell?
Yes.
Cool. I like that one. All right, it's a con save. What is their con? Probably not good. Yeah. A 17 and a 5. So one of them fails.
So that's 8 poison damage.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the one dies. And this was a cantrip, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, because if you got residual damage, the other one would have died too. Alright, so that one is dead. Okay, is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Okay. Which one was the one that ran? Was that one? Okay. Alright, next up is Xavier. So Xavier, there's only one left in front of you.
I'm gonna smack it.
Okay. Misses. Alright, so that is your turn. Ray, you are back up to 1 HP. Not feeling good. Not just because you were passed out, but because you literally lost half your life from these things.
Oof, my organs.
Yeah.
My internal organs.
Your heart, your brain, your spleen.
My pussy and my crack.
Oh, Crow is directly next to me?
Yeah, and he's passed out.
Alright, I'm gonna reach over and slap him. And he's gonna wake up with 1 HP.
Oh, you use the healer's kit?
Now.
Use the healer's kit?
Oh, no, I used something else.
Oh.
I have a healer's kit.
Oh, okay.
I have a bunch of healers kit.
Yeah, Crow, you are back to 1 HP.
I have 19 of them to be exact.
Is that is that your turn? Right.
Oh, and I'm going to can I have done that stealthily?
Roll a sleight of hand check. Since you're
Oof, not stealthy.
okay, so
Okay.
I mean,
Then I'm gonna drum a little tune on his metal body and give him inspiration.
okay. Wait, is that what you were trying to be stealthy about?
Just in general, reaching over was what I was trying to be stealthy about.
Okay.
Being alive, you know.
Could you describe what it looks like? You have to say it, but like describe what it looks like, cause like everyone's gonna see what you're doing.
I'm laying on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Without moving any other part of my body, I reach my hand over and but with drum noises. And I touch Crow.
Okay. Interesting.
Now he's awake and inspired with 1 HP.
Nice.
Would love to know what that looked like if you had done it stealthily.
I have no idea. All right, that is your turn then. Next up is Crow. Crow, you're back to 1 HP, and you feel inspired for some reason. You feel invigorated to kill these things.
I look downtrodden. I'm like, it's not my time yet. And I'll roll with it right in front of me.
All right, wisdom save. 14.
What? 13.
All right. Specters. I mean, the one is gonna keep running. Fun fact, not that any of you can see this, but he gets to this point and then he stops because he can't go out of the tomb. But that is...
So he takes the dodge action.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh my goodness, that means we could have just walked out and they wouldn't have followed us.
I mean, yeah, but you don't know this. Only you as the players. Only you as the players know this then. Okay, so that one's turn. The other one's going to attack you, Xavier, and then the one is going to attack... Gosh, I guess it'll attack Ray. Yeah, it'll attack Ray. Okay, so Xavier, yours is going to be an 18 to hit, which I think hits. And Ray, yours is going to be a dirty 20, so you're back to 1, or you're back to 0.
Being unconscious.
Now you all know how I feel.
But, and I'm really sorry to ask this, Ray, but can you roll a con saving throw? Because it technically is going to hit you.
Oh, fail.
You just passed. You just passed.
Yeah.
Okay. Xavier, yours is going to be 5 points of necrotic. And can you roll a con save? Oh, yeah, your max HP goes down by 5. So that just means that like whatever your max HP number is, just lower by 5 for now. Don't like permanently get rid of it, but write it down somewhere that you can't heal past that. Sila, it is your turn. You're still on the ceiling.
Alright, I'm going to scuttle over here and take out this one, since it seems to be a bigger problem.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna do poison spray again, because that spell does a weirdly large amount of damage for some reason.
Yeah, I mean the only thing is like it's a cantrip, so if they pass it, then like you can't do anything. But if they fail, that's like awesome, you know. Yeah, they failed, so 11 points of poison. So, fun fact, I won't take it back from the one that you killed, but they're immune to poison. And I didn't realize that, so that's my bad. I'll let you have killed the other one, but yeah, you do this, and for some reason this one doesn't seem to take.
That other one had allergies.
Yeah. It was poisons.
Shock it died of, actually.
It was poison season. It just wasn't handling it well. It didn't take its antibiotics today, so yeah.
Yes. Alright, well, I guess I gotta change things up next time, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'll also let you kill the one, but yeah, unfortunately, did not take this time. All right, so that is your turn. Xavier went to get a snack, so I will pass him for now. So then, Ray, it is your turn. Go ahead and roll a death save.
You know, we were talking about Xavier being dying a lot, but I also am dying a lot. Like, you know,
I think the reason why we talk about Xavier a lot more is because he gets himself into situations that he probably could have prevented, and he dies a lot. Whereas you don't necessarily do that, but you also pass out almost as much.
yeah, this situation was completely
Yeah.
unavoidable. Like,
Yeah.
I made every correct decision.
Except for the big one that caused the whole scene to happen.
I did everything I could right, including every decision, the one that you're thinking of. I had no other choice.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you see something like that on the floor, you have to touch it. It's important. It's part of the story.
Yeah, the rest of us really factor into that freaking room full of corpses and made her open up that urn. There was no way around it.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. Speaking of which, while we were talking, I went ahead and rolled an attack for Xavier just to see, and it hit, so it killed the Spectre. Well, we won't worry about it. All right. Well, that being said, Crow, it is your turn.
I'll toll the dead.
Yeah, you will. 18.
Boo.
Spare the dying.
All right. You both keep bringing each other back. It sounds so sad. All right, Spectre's turn, and by Spectre's I mean the one. Yeah, I guess he's gonna touch you, Crow, because you're moving around. It's a 21 to hit, so you're knocked out, and we'll roll a con save to see if your max HP goes down.
My con.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's your con save?
21.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're fine then. All right, so you are passed out. That is the Spectre's turn. Scylla.
Alright, so this time, I'm gonna use Magic Missile.
That seemed to work last time, so.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and do damage for all three.
Oh, that's right, I get 3.
Okay, so that is, 11 points total? Not looking good. Not looking good. Three good missiles right into the incorporeal body, and it seems to be starting to waver quite a bit.
It didn't fall, and for that, I hate it.
Alright, so that is that turn. Xavier will say he just runs up here, stabs at it. Let me roll. Hits. Rolled at 19 plus something. 11 points of bludgeoning, but halved to be 5. It is not looking good. It's looking almost non-existent. Alright, so that is his turn. Ray.
Alright, almost non-existent, you say?
Almost non-existent.
Alright, well, I'm going to attempt with all my might to viciously mock it.
I had you stab a ghost. Viciously mock. Okay, it's a wisdom save. It got a 16. Okay, look, their wisdom's a +0. I've just been rolling well tonight. I'm sorry. So yeah, your mockery just doesn't work because they've made you pass out like 3 times already. So they're like, yeah, you don't mean anything to us.
Your opinion does not matter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Ray is not exactly looking confident or intimidating after passing out 3 times.
Yeah.
I start crying a little bit.
You were hoping that would mock them, but it didn't. Crow, roll death save.
Hey.
Okay, that is a success. The Spectre is going to... Actually, it's probably going to touch Xavier because he did the most damage currently. Gonna touch you with a 16. Roll a con save for me. Okay, so you take 10 points in necrotic damage and lower that from your max HP.
I'm out.
Oh. Still lower it from your max HP. Oh boy. Okay. That is the Spectre's turn. Scylla. Another person goes down from the Spectre.
Goodness gracious, everyone is terrible. Wait, I gotta say that in Silas' voice. Goodness gracious, everyone is terrible but me! And I'm gonna cast Magic Missile again.
You kill it because it didn't have much HP left. So you just murder it with 16 or with 12 points of force. It just poof.
Great. I'm are we out of combat now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna drop from the ceiling, and I'm not gonna slap anybody, but I am gonna kind of give them a couple gentle kicks and like smacks to the butts or cheeks, whichever is easier for me to get to, and go, "You made me waste so many spell slots." I actually have no way to revive them. I think so. That's all I do. I guess.
You guys would know that Xavier has a bunch of healer's kit charges on him, so you probably could take some of his off of him.
Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna do that and revive everybody.
Okay, so Xavier, take off 2 charges from your healer's kits, as she uses one on you and on Crow. Actually, no, I think it would make more sense to only take off 1, because I'm assuming, Sally, you would bring back Crow first so that Crow could spare the dying.
Yeah.
Okay, so just take off 1 charge from your healer's kits. Crow, just to be sure, how long is your turn undead last?
1 minute.
Cool. Just wanted to know.
Yeah, or until it takes any damage.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys look around. I mean, now it seems like the danger's gone, so this room is free for you to touch whatever you want. Or, I mean, it's not like the touching actually caused anything, right? Right, Ray? Like, you touching something didn't actually cause any of this. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, I had no choice. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm crying, but I'm going to start looking in these sarcophagus.
You're crying, but you're gonna look anyway. Okay. You look around. So, if you want to try and open the lid, roll a strength check.
Well,
Too heavy.
I guess I'm just gonna sit on the ground and cry about it some more and just hope that someone opens it for me.
Would anyone else like to try and open?
Nope.
In my head, I'm just gonna go, where are you? I can't find you.
I'm below you.
How do I get down there? Are there stairs somewhere?
I think so. I don't know. I've never walked through here. I just know that you're above me right now.
Directly above you?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look around and see if I can find a way to get below me.
Roll an investigation check. I'm sorry, a perception check. Perception. You notice that the northeast sarcophagi, so the one right here, looks like it's built on rollers. That you can move it.
I'm gonna give it a big old push.
Okay, can you roll a strength check? Oh yeah, easy. You push it off to the side, and it reveals a 4-foot square hole in the floor, with a ladder going down.
I'm gonna go down it.
Oh, okay. You can heal people?
Yeah. I have 4. I can't even cast Cure Wounds. I don't have it prepared.
Oh well, that's too bad.
I'm going to cast Healing Word. Everyone gets 1 Healing Word. Cool. I'm going to heal 9.
Okay.
So first.
Mhm.
Who's hurt? I got 3 more uses.
Who's hurt? He asks.
I'm
Who's
hurt, but I can
the
also
most?
only heal up to 7. So like,
I think Sila's the only one that didn't take damage that entire fight.
Yeah, I'm good.
Glabagul,
Yeah, I'll go to heal Ray.
in case you're curious, Glabagul has just been chilling in this room because no one told him to help.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that.
If anyone asks, he just goes, I didn't see anything, because he literally couldn't see the specters for some reason. Oh, that one's
You
gone.
know, so it's okay, buddy. No big deal. We got it.
Do you want me to go upstairs and kill the one up there?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And he just starts going up the stairs. That'll be a side story that I'll tell you about as it happens.
Oh gosh, I hope that thing doesn't kill Blabagool.
We'll see.
I went down the
Go
ladder.
follow Blabagool.
Okay. Are you sure none of you want to open the sarcophagi? You might want to. I'm just saying
Now
as
that
a
I'm healed,
as a
and
nice
I'm
and
slightly
kind DM.
stronger, can I try again?
Yeah. As a nice kind DM, I would suggest opening at least one of them.
As my character being a grave cleric,
Mm-hmm.
I would not open it.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I'd probably argue against not opening it in general.
I've got a plan.
Oh, that was a 7.
I definitely didn't open it this time, but I am going to pretend that I got my finger stuck and someone needs to lift this lid off my finger or I'll die.
Roll performance check.
That's pretty good.
Anyone that was interested in this performance, roll an insight check.
Insight, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one better and just walk over and try to shove it.
17.
Yeah, she's lying. It's pretty obvious that she's lying. But Xavier, roll a strength check to see if you can just tear off the lid. Yeah, you tear off the lid easy.
Yeah, I leap on whatever's in there.
Which one were you pretending like your finger was trapped on?
This one?
Okay. What is that? That's southwest. Yeah. You see inside of it, a corpse, of course, but you also see, what is it? Like a piece of beaten gold that's worth 25 gold, and you also notice a walking stick.
I claim the walking stick.
Just feels like a walking stick.
You should
I want
put
it.
all that stuff back.
I want the walking stick.
You should put it back.
I take out the skeleton and throw it on the ground and then stomp on it.
Oh my gosh. Crow.
I literally met those guys and they were dicks.
Crow, can you roll an Arcana check? Actually, no. Can you roll a History check, Crow?
History check, sure.
Yeah.
10 plus my history mod, which is 12.
You take a look at that walking stick real quick, intending to just take it from Xavier. And you notice that there's a carving on it. And the carving looks really familiar to you. It kind of looks like a healer that you remember from the war, back in Mordekainen's time. And it looks like a similar sigil to what you remember, like the healer always putting in safe places, like places that were safe for her to work in, the healer's tents and stuff like that. They were safe spots. And when you look at it a little closer, you actually realize that this is the same walking stick that she used.
They weren't dicks. She was my friend.
And she's dead, and they should respect that.
We should respect that.
Can you roll an Arcana check, Crow?
Well.
You sense some fairly powerful magic coming from this deck.
I want to use it because it might help me figure out where this woman is and what she needs. And I'm just gonna take the stick and jump down the hole.
Jumping down the hole.
There's a ladder. There's a hole in the ladder. I'm gonna just go down the ladder with the stick.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So wait, there's no body inside, right?
Yeah, there was.
There was.
And you should.
They took it out and threw it on the ground.
I did. I took it out and threw it on the ground.
No.
Took it out and threw it on the ground.
No. As Xavier is going down the
Crow is
ladder.
upset.
Yep.
Crow's offended.
as Carl is going, or as Xavier is going down the ladder, it's not a long fall down. So you get down there, and you notice that it's a small room. It's not super big. But there's like a dais there, and it has a very like beautiful tomb. Like it's a tomb, and there's like a very beautiful sarcophagus on the on this like pillar. It is gold. Like it looks like it's made out of pure gold. This sarcophagus, and there's like some etchings on this as well. And if Ray comes down as well, I don't know, Ray, are you going down the ladder?
Yeah, I'll follow if everyone else is going.
Okay. When you go down, Ray, you look at the words, and because you can read Celestial, you read that that the name on it is Bresis of Cain.
I'm like, hey, I can read Celestial, I can read this. It says Bresis of Cain wanted to share with the masses. We're the masses, by the way. You can tell from the writing.
As you're talking, Xavier, you hear the voice in your head go, "Oh, you're here! Quick, open the lid and get me out before it comes back."
Should I be worried?
Yes, it's very powerful. It's gonna kill you.
No, I mean about you.
What?
Should I be worried about helping you?
What? Why are you asking that now? No, you shouldn't be worried about me. Please, just help me.
Fine. I'll go over and try and push the lid open.
All right.
Nat 20.
Can y'all please put yourselves where you would be?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so as you open it, so you see inside of this crypt, there is a skeleton, obviously. It has, it's draped in, like, very beautiful, like, clothing, like, it almost kind of looked like a priest's clothing, like the way that the garment is, ornamented, and, you know, like, has, like, writing that you don't really understand, but it looks pretty similar to the writing that was on the coffin lid. So, you notice all that, but the thing that you notice the most, like the quickest, is a sword in the skeleton's hand. It is glowing. And as you open,
Sword?
Hmm?
I'll take the sword.
As you're reaching in to take the sword, like a bunch of black smoke just all of a sudden spews out from the body, and a wraith comes to life.
I yell, run.
Drop the lid on it.
This
Roll.
is why we don't mess with the dead.
Roll a new initiative, please.
Oh man,
You're gonna
It's liking me tonight.
I will say, Lucas, that you would have been able to grab the sword before this happened. You would have, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna put the sword and the staff together. Does anything happen?
No, they're two completely different objects.
I'll hold the sword in my right hand and the staff in my left.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let me
I think
just.
if you got a nat 20, you should have like lifted the lid as if you were like opening a chest, and I think you should just be able to drop the lid back on the ring. I think that'd be very funny.
Yeah, I mean, I was a nat 20. I haven't gotten one in a long time, so.
Sorry, I'm also recording the initiative for Glabagool because he is also fighting the Spectre in the top at the same time.
Another place in time right now.
Yes, let me just put him over there. We'll go to him whenever it's his turn. Okay, what is his initiative? Oh, he has a -4 dex. That's fantastic. All right, what are you guys' initiatives? We got a 19, 14, 17, and 17. What's your raw dex, George? And Theo, what's yours too?
raw dex is 12.
Okay, well, what was yours again, George?
13.
Okay, top of the round, we're gonna go to the Spectre in their fight because he still has his nat 20. He's gonna claw at Glabagool to try and take his life away. That is a 14 to hit, which hits him because his armor class is poop.
But it should technically burn the Spectre, because Glabagool is amazing.
Wow, I rolled high on this one. Oh my god, he got 14 points in necrotic damage.
People can't die.
We'll find out.
Probable can definitely
Oh,
die.
I
I
just...
feel like he should have like a chemical burn from the spiral burn. No,
It's a specter.
that's what I'm saying.
What do you
They
mean?
were immune to poison, so maybe we shouldn't have taken a chance with that.
Okay, so he failed his con save also, so he's permanently down to 70 HP right now. It's fine though. He has a lot of HP. He can take these sets. All right, so that's the Spectre's turn. Now it is Xavier. Xavier, you have the sword in your hand, and the wraith is kind of like right in front of you and looking nasty. You do hear the sword in your head go, "Oh, please use me, just hit him."
I'm gonna try and shove the sword through the wraith's face, right in his eye hole.
Okay, roll a d20. What's your strength? I should have had you just roll a strength check, just to like, because that would have been your fight. 3. So no, like I'll just have the 3 added. So that's a 13. That hits. So go ahead and roll a d8. Wait, no, sorry. Roll 2d8. So you slash out at this creature, and when you slash, it makes contact, and it looks as though light bursts out from the blade's like hilt. And actually, so just for a record, it was just the like not scabbard, the hilt of the sword that you saw in there. When you touched it, when you like held onto it, the sword lit up in light. Like the actual blade itself is light. And when you like swiped at the wraith, the light kind of burst inside of it. It looked like it did some pretty serious damage, even with that low roll.
Ooh.
Okay, so that is your turn. Next up is the wraith. So it is going to
I'll probably die.
grab you or try to grab you.
Ooh.
Does a 19 hit? I'm assuming it
Of
does.
course.
Okay, cool. Oh boy.
And I was at 1 HP, so I'm out.
Oh, yeah, you are. Roll a con save. I'm just making sure how out you are. Yeah, you wouldn't have survived that.
10.
Okay. You have to lower your HP by 13.
That would take me to -3, which means I can't even heal.
Wait, hold on. I want to make sure I actually did the math right, because you could die if you did that.
Because I'm down to 10.
No, it's 9. I'm sorry, it's 9.
So I can only heal to 1 HP.
Yes, you literally can only heal to 1 HP until you get this sorted.
But the thing is, if you get hit again and you fail the con save, you're dead.
Yes.
I don't have
Dead.
to fight yet.
Yes.
I'm dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
So y'all better know how to fight.
Y'all better fucking listen to me.
Like,
Well, that's the Wraith's turn. Crow, while you're yelling at his deceased body, what do you do?
I don't know. I don't have any of my picks. Like, I don't have anything great. Guiding bolt level 2.
I mean, you could do what you said and try to run.
Yeah, but leave Xavier behind. Guiding bolt level 2.
Go for it.
That's all I got.
That's an attack roll, yeah.
Yeah, 24. I rolled a 19.
Oh yeah, that hits. What kind of damage does it do?
Radiant.
Of course it does.
Okay, not terrible. 11, 15, 17.
17.
17 damage.
Yeah, I mean, he's still up, but that did some pretty serious damage to him.
And I guess bonus action. Scratch the dying. Damage would get lower. But it wouldn't do anything. Yeah. Spare the dying.
On me.
On you, yeah.
No, on himself, just because like it doesn't actually do anything. It just kind of makes him feel better. Okay, Scylla.
So I'm up.
With this thing, it's humanoid, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to try to cast Charm Person.
Can you roll a nature check?
Okay.
Nature. Ooh.
Okay. So what is that? That's a wisdom save?
That's a crit
Charisma?
fail.
I know, but like what's the save I have to make for a charm?
Oh.
Wisdom save.
Yeah.
It got a wisdom 19.
Oh, and it gets advantage because we've attacked it.
Oh, well. Yeah, 19.
Well, that didn't work.
Alright, so that is your turn. Next up is Ray.
Okay. Do we know anything about the constitution of ghoul or wraiths? Are they hardy? Does he look hardy?
I mean, he took that guiding bolt and he's still alive, so
So yeah, he's pretty hardy.
pretty hardy, yeah.
Ooh, I don't think my vicious mockery is gonna do much.
Well, to be fair, you do make him have disadvantage on an attack because of it, so that could be considered pretty good, but damage-wise, no. Probably not.
I mean, because I'm considering using puppet, and that way he will drop Xavier if he's still holding him, and I can also make him, I don't know, run into a corner or something, just go away for a little bit.
What, is that like an effect that you put on him?
Here, I'll show it.
I'm just wondering because like roll a nature check. I'll have you roll the same check as with Scylla.
Okay.
For reasons, you know.
I got a -1 in nature.
12. You're not sure if it can be charmed. So
okay.
it might not be worth using that spell slot.
Alright.
Sorry, Scylla.
Then I guess I'll just viciously mock it.
Okay. It got a 12.
Yeah. Wow, that's incorrect.
Wrong.
Ooh. I say,
Nice damage.
wow, you're gonna just watch all of us get out of here. I say as I start climbing the ladder.
Well, the ladder's over by Scylla and Crow, so.
Oh. I say as I don't start climbing.
Yeah, they're kind of in the way right now. Okay, yep. Alright, so that is your turn, and then Glabagool. We're gonna have comedic relief here for a second. Or stress, you know, for Glabagool's sake.
With my baby.
I know, Pidge should be with Glabagool. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, Pidge is hiding in Crow's hatch, like he usually does. Alright, he's gonna try and engulf the Spectre, which I don't know how that even works, but you know. Oh, it failed. So it is now inside of Glabagool, and he's going to take a lot of damage. Well, not super a lot right now. Oh, okay. It got 5 points of acid damage, which... Wait, does it take acid damage? Okay, it's resistant to acid damage, so it only takes 2.
Damage?
For the Spectre, yeah.
All together? Oh.
It only took 2 so far, yeah. It's engulfed in Glabagool, but yeah, it only took 2 points of acid damage so far.
Gosh.
Yeah. There's not a good... I guess I'll just put the net over him to show that he's engulfed. Alright, well that is his turn. Top of the round. It is the Spectre's turn. No. Alright, well he's going to try and escape. He fails. So he is still trapped, and he's actually going to take some residual damage from the... Now this is where he actually takes a lot of damage. Takes 66 damage for being inside of a gelatinous cube. Oh my god, I rolled awful. What the heck?
How much damage?
10 points of acid, but halved because of the resistance. Only 5.
Oh.
What the heck? Why am I rolling badly for you guys, but good for against you guys? It's a mystery. All right. Next up is Xavier. Xavier, you are at 1 HP because you were just brought back, and you hear the sword kind of saying. You realize it is the sword that's speaking to you. Is saying, quick, use me again. We have to kill it. I don't want you to die. Yeah, the hits. So roll 2d8. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. It's like kind of like it's kind of doing that thing that the specters were doing before they were dying. Like it's kind of like fading in and out of existence. It is the Wraith's turn though. And it is going to attack you with disadvantage because of the vicious mockery. So it's gonna attack. Oh, I have to get rid of all these dice from Glabagool. It got a 14.
Misses.
Oh, just to tell you, it was a 24 to hit if it was a normal roll. So yeah, that would have hit and it would have killed you probably, like killed.
Like,
I'm the MVP.
I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, Gabrielle, good call on that, honestly. All right, yeah, it just misses. So that is its turn. Next up is Crow. Crow, you realize how close that was. Like that was, it barely grazed Xavier in that swipe. And it does not look good.
Next time, listen to me. I'm gonna try to toll the dead.
Okay. Good wisdom save. It failed.
Hey.
Rolled a 2.
10 damage.
How do you kill it?
A bell appears on its head, and it's you know how bells have that little thing inside that hits the side of the bells?
Yeah.
Yeah, his head is gonna be that, and it's gonna bang on his head.
Mm-hmm.
Making
Cool.
a very sonorous ding every time it hits.
That is really cool. Yeah, you kind of produce this spell, and it's like it's ridiculously loud for the Wraith, but even for you guys in this small room, you hear this like boom, boom, and you see like the rest of like its form just dissipate from this. But yeah, so you killed it.
So do you still think that what's her name? Bryce's isn't a dick? You still think she deserved respect? Look at this.
I didn't say anything about prices. I said that the person whose staff you stole.
Bryce's 3 servants?
Oh, that wasn't so just to let you know, Crow, that wasn't your friend in the crypt because of the fact that it said Bryce's servants. Like, you know for a fact that your friend wasn't a servant of whoever the heck Bryce's was. Which, for the record, most likely was the Wraith you just killed.
I got that as a player, but like as like Crow, because his brain's not working, and that thing that happened all the way in the back.
Yeah.
In a couple hours. Yeah, that's why
Okay, I mean, I will say even with that, you probably would gather most of that. I mean, as far as like the body not being your friends, I can see how you wouldn't, make that connection, maybe. Yeah, I guess I understand why you're.
I'm gonna go up to Xavier and take the stuff, the staff.
The staff.
Sword.
Oh, and the sword.
Yeah, I'm taking both of them.
No, you're not taking either of those.
I'm taking both.
No,
I'll
we're not
fight
taking
you
either
for
of them.
it.
I will hurt you if you take them.
You all hear in your heads the female voice going, "Wait, no, I have to stay with him."
Did she say
Fine, I take the staff.
I have to stay with what's her name?
Xavier.
Yeah, I have to stay with Xavier.
Who are you?
My name's Dawnbringer.
Sounds like a name we can't trust to me.
Hey, Dawnbringer, by the way, that Wraith was an asshole, right?
That's Dawnbringer, by the way.
It's a huge dick.
why did you have to stay with Xavier?
I had a connection with him. I haven't felt such a pure soul in, gosh, I think like 100 years. And when I felt his presence not too long ago, I had to call out. I've been stuck here for so long. I've been stuck here with that creature watching over me, and it's been I don't belong here. I don't belong in the Underdark. I belong in the above world. I'm assuming that's where you guys come from, right? You don't. How are you here? Like, where have you been trapped?
I don't remember.
I don't remember
I'm
much
just gonna
either.
Run up the stairs with the sword and the
No,
staff.
I'm holding on to the staff. Like,
Um,
The staff is mine. It is mine.
Wait, no. You should give the staff to the metal guy.
Fine. And I just hand it over to Crow and scowl at him, but the sword is mine.
Do you take the staff, Crow?
I'll take the staff, and as he's giving it to me, I'll trip him.
What to me?
I'll trip him and make sure he falls and takes 1 damage.
Roll Xavier, roll a dex saving throw. Wait, I'm not on the thing. Yeah, you fall down and you pass out.
Great.
And you hear Dawnbringer in your voice, in your heads go, he has a lot to learn.
Well, I'm at zero HP now, so I'm passed out.
Yeah, I know. She's talking to everyone. I have something I want to tell you, Crow, in here in a second. But for Xavier, for Lucas, so you now possess Dawnbringer, so you can look at her stat. I'll actually move her over to your character folder in a little bit. She has a +2 sword. She does 1d8 damage, but if you are targeting an undead creature, it does an extra 1d8 radiant damage. That's how you were able to do the 2d8. It also produces 15 feet of bright light and 15 feet of dim light. So it will light up the corridors that you guys are walking down since you don't have dark vision.
If the light is sunlight, does that mean it can burn things?
Potentially, yeah. It is pure sunlight. You also get the feeling that you can cast some healing magic with it. And what that means is that you can cast Lesser Restoration once per day.
Cool.
So these are all of the things that you can now. So now that is your it is basically a longsword. So that's why it's a 1d8. Crow, when you put your hand on the staff, a memory starts to flood into your head. As soon as you touch it, you distinctly remember that this is the staff that your friend had. You don't remember your friend's name, and that's probably the most frustrating thing for you, is that you were starting to remember her, like just in like the mentioning of it, but even holding it, that's the thing that still seems to be like blocked from you. But you feel like it's important to figure out what her name was. So like that's like a missing piece of information that really is getting to you right now. However, when you touch it, you do distinctly remember her, and like you actually you don't really care too much either way about humans. You know, not humans, but like humanoid creatures. Like they're all just living entities to you. Like it doesn't matter who they are really to you for the most part. This one's special though. She's special to you. She seems to be in a lot of your memories, a lot of moments in your time in the war, and even before the war. You even remember her at times like before you were tasked, like you were just created, and she was there. She was there to like kind of teach you things, to teach you about humanity. So you kind of remember her having something to do with your creator. But the thing you remember the most holding this staff is that she always carried it. She didn't necessarily need it. It's like a walking stick of a sort, but she didn't necessarily need it. She was young. But she carried it because it helped her channel her healing to like the soldiers that needed it. And as you are holding this, you find out it's this. You now have a staff of healing.
Cool.
So It has the description on there, but basically you can use charges to cast like Cure Wounds, Lesser Restoration. You can recharge every day. And yeah, it doesn't look like that though. It doesn't have the like tiki things on the pole. It looks like it's just a normal walking stick with that sigil on it. So congratulations, guys. You both got your magic weapons. Well, magic items, I should say. Not necessarily a weapon. For some of you. In case you're curious, Glabagool did win his fight. I rolled a few more. I rolled a few more things. The Spectre wasn't able to escape, and Glabagool would just kind of sat there and let it digest the creature. I'm assuming. Does anyone wake Xavier back up?
Yeah, after like 10 seconds, I just heal. I spare the dying.
Okay. Xavier, when you wake up again, you hear Dawnbringer go, if you attune to me, if you spend like an hour, not here, but you know, if you spend an hour to attune to me, I can just talk to you. Like I'll give you my benefits that I have.
Make sure that I can only hear you. I don't like
Just
all
stored
of
with
you
benefits.
hear you.
Yes. Of course. I just ask one favor, and she is saying this to all of you right now. I just ask one favor of you all. Can you help me get back to the surface?
That is our goal. We're trying to find the surface as well.
Thank you. It's been so long. I haven't seen the sun in so long. Okay. So, do you guys head back up the ladder and get out of here?
Can we try to open the other? Can I give one more try to open the other sarcophagi?
Sure. Oh, I do have one thing to say. I'm assuming someone, most likely you, Ray, would look at the sarcophagus that the wraith came out of, and you do notice more things inside of it. You also notice inside there is a thin gold sheath that covered the like body of Brysus, and it is worth 250 gold.
Yeah.
You also notice a withered and mummified corpse, obviously, that was inside of it, that had held Dawnbringer. And you notice that there is a little chest inside, and it doesn't seem to be locked.
I've been the one to see these things because I opened the sarcophagus?
Yeah. You kind of were busy with the Wraith, though. Fighting the Wraith. So yeah, you also notice that there is a small chest inside of it. It is unlocked. When you open up the chest, you notice that it has 4,000 silver, 1,200 gold, 11 zircons, which are worth 50 gold each. I will write this all down in the chat. A necklace of fireballs, and a filter of love, and a potion of greater healing.
Alright, so let's split it up evenly. How many of us are there again altogether? Because let's assume that the
6.
other members of our party also get some.
There are 6 altogether.
6?
Yep.
333 sil.
Oh, and can you write this down in the chat just so we can make sure that Dana and Darren get it?
Can we like take a long rest so my my normal maximum HP can come back?
I'm just gonna round the silver up. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It'll...
You can do that.
Oh, that's gold. Oh, that's gold. Damn.
You got 2,000 gold total from everything, 4,000 silver, and then the other things.
Matt, is the staff of healing a melee weapon, or is it just like a thing that I can carry around?
I believe it's also a staff, so yeah. You could also use it as a melee weapon.
I just see you carrying the staff and it perching on top of it. I don't know why.
Okay, does anyone want the necklace of fireballs? What does the filter of love do, by the way?
So I also decided, just to let you guys know, I'm not going to be secretive about potions anymore, because I just don't see the point of it. I want you guys to be able to use things when you get them, especially being in the Underdark when like there isn't a lot of resources to be able to ask for like what these things are. So I'm just going to like tell you guys like, oh yeah, this is the filter of love, you know? So let me actually look it up for you
I
guys.
mean, I might know because I'm a herbalist.
So the next time you see a creature within 10 minutes after drinking this filter, you become charmed by that creature for 1 hour. If the creature is of a species and gender you are normally attracted to, you regard it as your true love while you are charmed. This potion is rose-hued, effervescent liquid, contains one easy-to-miss bubble shaped like a heart.
Do you have to drink all of it, or can you split it?
Have to drink all of it.
Oh.
So it's a love potion.
Oh god.
I want it. Can I take it?
You'll be in love with somebody for an hour.
No, not take it as in drink it. I mean, like,
Oh.
you guys said.
I was gonna say, you're gonna waste it on yourself. Stop on.
And then for your knowledge, a necklace of fireballs has 1d6 plus 3 beads. Actually, I'll roll that for you guys. I have to find out how much. I'll say it has 9 beads. I'm not going to roll for it. So it has 9 beads. You can use an action to detach a bead and throw it up to 60 feet. When it reaches the end of its trajectory, the bead detonates as a 3rd level fireball with a DC of 15. You can hurl multiple beads, and each extra bead you throw is another level of fireball. So if you throw 2 beads, it'd be a 4th level fireball.
I think Paige would take it.
We'll take what?
Necklace of fireballs.
We can ask them when next session. We'll just not have anyone use it until then. So I'm assuming you guys leave the tomb
Yeah.
as you're kind of looking through this stuff.
Yeah, we need to like find a place to rest.
Yeah,
was
I
going
mean,
to try to open another sarcophagus.
Oh.
so when you yeah, that's right. Roll a strength check. Unless you ask Xavier to help you with it.
I'm going to try to do it on my own.
Dawnbringer does kind of say, since she's still able to talk to all of you at the same time and know you can't open it. She does say, there are some things in those. I take them. This Breesus guy was not nice.
He was a dick, right? I was right.
I mean, he kind of held me captive down here for over 100 years, so yeah, he was a dick.
I rolled a 14. Does that help?
Yes. Well, roll with advantage because Ray is helping you.
What's an advantage?
Just roll again.
Huh?
Roll again. Take the higher number of the 2.
No.
Yeah, that will open it. I'm just gonna say that opens all of them because I don't feel like sitting through you doing another 2 more of them. So in the other 3 sarcophagi you find, I mean obviously skeletons. You see in the northeast sarcophagus, 2 gold bracelets worth 50 gold each, and a ceremonial wand that's non-magical, chiseled out of ivory that's worth 25 gold. And I'll total this all up for you guys again in a second, so don't worry. In the northwest sarcophagus, you find an onyx ring that's worth 50 gold, and a silver necklace set with 2 azurites, and a carnelian, whatever that is, worth 250 gold. And in the southeast sarcophagus, you find a gold censer with platinum filigree worth 250 gold. Okay, so that was 445 gold total, which split 6 ways is 74 gold. So if you want to just edit your original post, you can add 74. Yeah, so as you guys walk out of the area, obviously you notice that Glabagul is just kind of chilling up there, and he goes, "Oh, I killed it for you. Where have you guys been? It's been a while. I thought you were dead."
I was dead, gone twice.
Oh, well, you're alive now.
Yes.
Are you a god?
No.
Oh. What's that lace sword you got there?
Dawnbringer?
That's a cool name.
Yeah.
What is Dawn?
A time of day.
What's day?
I'm just gonna pull the sword and make it show sunlight and go, sunlight, and then close it.
The eyeball that's in my gelatinous cube thought it was bright.
Yes, that's what daylight is, it's bright.
Oh, it hurt my eye.
Yeah, does hurt your eyes. You should never look into sunlight.
Oh, I should wear sunglasses, right?
How do you know what sunglasses are, but you don't know what sunlight is?
Huh. Okay, let's go.
Yep, let's go.
Okay.
Okay, so do you guys walk a few hours before you rest? Do you just stop right outside of the entrance to this tunnel and rest, or?
Does the entrance look like... I can't... Does this look like a safe place? Like a nice place?
I mean, yeah, like it literally didn't have anything in it. It was just kind of like an entrance. So it's up to you guys. Like you can stay there for a long rest, or you can leave this whole tomb if you don't feel comfortable even being in the tomb at all. Like it's up to you. As far as you could tell, the danger is gone.
I think we're probably safe. Everyone for a long rest to say I.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys kind of bed down for the night. I'll just kind of go down the list of people to ask if you do anything during your watches. Crow, is there anything that you do during the night?
No. I'll attune to the thing.
Yeah. You take an hour to attune to it.
Yeah, that's it. I'll keep watch as normal.
Okay. Ray, is there anything you do during your rest or during your watch?
For once, no. I'm
Really?
very tired. Can I get my HP back, max HP back somehow?
Yeah, during the long rest, you guys get your max HP back up to normal.
Yes.
Because that would suck being only to go to 1 HP.
Yeah. I'm curious, Gabrielle. Just out of curiosity from me, not necessarily from, I guess, the DM god that exists in this world. Are you like not going to read any more of the book, or is it just because of how tired you are this night?
It's just because of how tired I am currently.
Okay, because I was just genuinely. I was just genuinely curious as like where Ray is at with the book because of everything that happened from that first chapter.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna read more of the book, and it's gonna be everyone's fault. No, I can't risk it right now.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. All right, Sila, is there anything you do during your watch?
I don't think so. I'm pretty tuckered out, so I'm just gonna keep watch and then sleep.
Okay, and then Xavier, is there anything you do?
I'm gonna ask Dawnbringer, is there anything else they should know before I attune to you? Because they won't be able to hear you.
Just promise me we can get out of here. I'm sorry if I didn't seem trustworthy at first.
Well, I didn't know you were a sword, otherwise I would have trusted you right away.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. How was I to know?
I guess it would be hard to ask for help if you just thought I was some sentient thing.
True.
Then again, I guess you already have a sentient creature in your party. From the gelatinous cube that seems to be wandering with you.
So that's what he is. You didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
He's a sentient being? That's awesome.
Yeah, they don't normally talk.
I wonder why he can talk then.
I don't know.
Alrighty then, I'm going to attune. And so I attune.
Okay. Yeah, so like the night goes perfectly fine. Dawnbringer kind of told you, Xavier, that like it would be safe here now. That you've kind of killed everything that would have been here. And yeah. You wake up the next the next day. Not really morning. There's no morning, but wake up the next day and what do you do?
Leave the cave.
Okay. So yeah, you leave from the door, and Sarah kind of looks back and forth and goes, "Okay,
What are y'all doing still down in the basements of this tomb? Like, move yourself.
oh, don't worry about it. It's fine." Yeah. So you guys leave the entrance, and you kind of look back and forth and go, "Okay, well, I suppose let's just keep going the way we were going." And you make your way to the right in the direction that you were heading towards. So you go a few hours down this path, And the whole way has been quiet, except for your footsteps. Nothing seems to jump out at you. No, you don't hear any voices, any cracks in the tunnels along the way. You take a break for a moment. Like you always take a break, kind of halfway through the day of travel. And as you're taking a break, Sila, you kind of feel like a chill pass through you. It just got kind of colder all of a sudden.
Can I tell whether this is like a, oh, there's a breeze chill, or, oh, there's a spooky, scary monster chill?
Roll a insight check. Yeah, insight. I think it's just the tunnel, because like sometimes you do get drafts in the tunnels. I mean, it was enough to have noticed, but like probably not worth mentioning. It's up to you on if you would mention it. Pass by.
Yeah, I don't think I would then.
Okay. Yeah, it was kind of strange, but you just kind of tuck into your coat that you have or whatever it is that you wear.
Would Dawnbringer notice anything?
She can't feel anything.
Oh, I thought she could sense things.
No, she's a sentient object. Yeah. So you kind of finish your break and you start to walk again, and Sila, you do feel that chill after a few minutes. Kind of pass through again, and this time it doesn't even need an insight check to kind of realize like, okay, this is strange. That's kind of colder all of a sudden.
Okay, so this time I'm gonna be like, does anybody feel that breeze?
None of you feel a breeze, especially not you, Crow.
No.
Oh, okay. And I'm gonna walk a little closer to somebody. I guess maybe I'm just cold because I'm small. I was gonna ask Pidge if he's cold, but Pidge isn't here.
Roll a perception check. Sila, as you're kind of looking around and as you're getting closer to like Aspen, you notice that the shadows behind Aspen seem to be moving in a different way than what her movement is. Like as she's stepping, her shadow is kind of like wavering, like it would have been if there was a light, like if there was a torch in front of her.
I'm gonna jump back and I'm gonna look around to see if anybody else's shadow is doing that.
It kind of looks like everyone's shadow seems to be doing that, including your own.
Alright, I'm gonna go, hey guys, I think something is following us or tracking us.
What do you mean? How do you think that?
I don't really know. I kind of felt a chill and the shadows look weird, and I just think that something's up.
I'm gonna look at the shadow.
Roll a perception check with advantage.
Can I open Dawnbringer and see if anything happens?
Yeah.
I'm gonna open Dawnbringer and light up the area.
16.
Yeah, you notice that the shadows are kind of moving weirdly too, and when Xavier turns Dawnbringer on, all of a sudden, like the tunnel kind of illuminates in sunlight, like I had mentioned, the 30 feet, and your shadows elongate like shadows would, but you also hear them hiss, and I'd like you all to roll initiative. All right. First up is the shadows. Okay, so on the map, as you can see, each of your shadows seems to spring to life from this light. And there also seems to be a shadow behind Glabagool, but this one looks a little different. It looks like it has wings, and it looks a little bigger. So the shadows on you guys are all going to try and grab at you. Oh, look at that. More necrotic shadow-like creatures.
Great.
You guys haven't had enough of those. Alright, so one on each of you. Sila, yours is going to be an 11 to hit. Oh, and I'm actually going to go ahead and I am going to limit some of the shadows because technically Aspen and Pidge aren't here. So I'll make it making it a little easier. So 11 misses. Ray, how is a... What is it? 22 to hit. Crow, nat 20.
That hits.
And Xavier, 13. Okay,
Sixes.
so Crow and Ray, you're both getting hit. Okay, so Crow, yours is gonna be 6 points. No, 8 points of necrotic damage. And let me just double check something. Mason. And your strength score decreases by 2. Your raw strength. Again, temporary, not permanent. So just mark it down somewhere. And then for you, Ray, you take 10 points of necrotic damage.
But heck.
And your strength score decreases by 1.
Ooh.
Again, not permanent. Okay, so that is their turns. Xavier, it is your turn.
I'm gonna use Dawnbringer and smash it. The one in front of me.
Okay. Misses.
Wow. Okay.
Dawnbringer goes, maybe I chose the wrong person.
No.
No, she doesn't say that. Okay. Sila.
Yeah, I see that.
Rude.
My turn?
Yep.
Okay, wasn't sure I heard you right. It's in melee. Okay, I'm gonna pull out my Maul book.
Yep. A 9 to hit. That's misses.
Damn, I don't know what I expected.
Yeah, you know.
That's it. That's all I can do.
All right, Crow.
Wait. I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
That increase my AC to 20.
Cool.
Then that's an action. I can't do anything else.
Okay.
Actually, I want to cast Healing Word on myself. Also.
Okay. Cool. It is the other shadow's turn.
I heal 8. I'm back to 23.
Nice. It is the other shadow's turn. It is going to claw at Glabagool. Yeah. It is going to miss Glabagool, I think. Wait, what is... No, it doesn't miss. Wow, Glabagool's AC is awful. Poor Glabagool. Alright, well, he's going to take... Okay, just that much. He's going to take 10 points of psychic damage. Well, yeah, he just takes that damage then. Alright, so that is... That turn... Ray.
I'm going to, I guess I'll take out my sword and do some slashing at this thing. Wait a second. It's incorporeal. I'm not gonna do that. I don't know. We're all going one-on-one.
Yeah, you all got your shadows. Your own shadows. It is vaguely shaped like you. Like, all of them are vaguely shaped like you guys.
Yeah, then I guess I'll slash it with my long sword.
10 to hit, misses.
Yeah. But it does.
Alright, top of the round. It is the shadows' turns. They're all going to make their grabs at you. Alright, so first is going to be Sila, and that is an 8 to hit. Then Ray, that is a 16 to hit. Does that hit you, Ray?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Crow, that is going to be a 15 to hit, which misses. And Xavier, that's a 21 to hit, which I believe hits.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Xavier and Ray. So Ray, you're going to take 7 points of necrotic damage. And your strength decreases by 2 more points. So make sure you're writing this down. What are you at right now for your strength?
Right now, my strength is... Where are you?
So you've gone up by 3, I believe.
My strength is at 11 right now.
After the -3.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Xavier, you're gonna take 8 points of necrotic damage,
Okay.
and your strength goes down by 4. So your raw strength score is decreased by 4.
The higher number? The larger number?
Yes. Just write that down somewhere. Don't permanently change it.
No, I know. So wait, how much did I take? 8?
Yes. What is your strength score now?
I went from a 16 and it's minus what?
4.
So it would be a
12. Yep. And just remember, anything that is strength based has been decreased by that. So
Okay.
like your attacks will be affected because of this.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
I don't know how to calculate.
I'll help you. Don't worry. Okay, so next up is Xavier. Okay, so when you roll your attack, just do a -2 to it because you went down by 4. Just for now. So if you're gonna attack, go ahead and that works. Plus your strength and the +2 technically.
So it would be
So that's +3 +2.
12 minus 2. Because my strength is 3.
Yeah, but it's a +2 weapon too. Remember, Dawnbringer. So it kind of negates it in a sense.
So it would have been plus 3 and plus 2?
Yes, so it would have been a 12.
Yeah.
That just hits.
Okay.
Wow, first hit, guys. Good job. All right, go ahead and do your.
Just 2d8?
It is undead, so you can roll 2d8. Yes. You only roll 2d8 if it's undead.
Yeah, I know.
So that's 11 points of damage. 3 of that is bludgeoning. 8 of it's radiant. Oh, plus your strength +2. I'm sorry. Yeah. Plus your strength +2. So +5. So that'd be 16.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 16 points of radiant damage. That kills yours.
Yeah.
Let's see, what was your number? Okay. Yeah, so you were able to slash one time at it, and the shadow dissipates. Okay, so that was your turn. Next up is Scylla.
Alright, I'm not gonna use the mall book again because obviously that did this thing is probably like attached to me, so I have no well, that's not how spells work. Alright, maybe I am gonna use the mall book again. 15?
Hey, that hits.
Yay.
Oh, 9 points of damage. It does resist it because it is incorporeal, so it will only do half damage, but you still do damage. All right, that is your turn. Okay. Next up is Crow. Mason.
They're not that many of them. I'll just roll with it.
On the one that's on you.
No, I want to do it on this guy.
Okay, well, I got an 18, so.
Fine. Yes.
Speaking of that guy, it is his turn. Wait, I skipped Gabagool. Hold on. Oh, he got like a -2 on his initiative, so that's probably why. Okay, I will have Gabagool go because I forgot him first. He's gonna try and engulf the shadow. Why not? He can engulf a specter, so he might as well try to engulf a shadow. Dex saving throw. He fails his dex save, so the shadow is currently submerged in Gabagool. He is resisted to the acid damage, but still gonna take some good damage. Where did all my d6s go? Okay, that's gonna be 12 points of acid damage, but halved on the creature. Okay, now it is his turn. He's going to make another dex save to try and escape from Glabagul's clutches. He fails again, so he's going to take even more acid damage. Wow. 17 points of acid damage, but halved. And that is all he can do on his turn because he is trapped by Glabagul. So bottom of the round, well, not bottom of the round. Ray, it is your turn. Technically, Glabagul is bottom.
I'm gonna. I don't have anything.
Use your sword. That's fine.
Okay, I'll use my sword as it gets weaker and weaker.
It's not getting weaker from the shadow. It's fine. And hey, it hits.
Oh, yay, okay.
Barely.
Alright. So that's 3 damage.
Hmm.
Yay.
Except halved because it doesn't take bludgeoning damage, so...
1 damage.
Woo. Oh my gosh. Alright, well... Now it is Glabagul's turn. What can he even do? You know what? He's gonna make his way over to you with the guy engulfed in him. And he is going to use a pseudopod attack on the shadow that's next to you, Ray. He's gonna help. He's not gonna help. Wait. No, he doesn't help. It misses. He rolled a 9.
Alright.
It was close. Alright, well, that's his turn. Next up is the shadows. They're gonna keep attacking you guys, except for Xavier. So Scylla, how is a 15 to hit?
Yeah, that'll hit.
Finally. Ray, that's a dirty 20. And Crow, that's a 9.
Oh, so what?
9.
That's
Alright, Scylla, that's 14 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, alright, I'm down.
Oh. Your strength score also decreases by 1.
By what?
By 1.
Oh, by 1, okay.
Okay, so you're passed out. And then, Ray, you take 8 points of necrotic damage.
4 points of necrotic damage.
Yep. And your strength decreases by 2.
Oh.
So where are you at right now?
I'm at
9, I think. Yeah, okay. You're not feeling good. You're feeling pretty drained right now.
It's a familiar feeling.
But, like, more bone chilling, you know? Like if you feel it in your bones, not your soul this time. So, slightly different, but yeah, similar feeling. Alright, next up is
Feeling all
Xavier.
of the different sensations.
All the different sensations of death, yes. Alright, Xavier, it is your turn.
Such a great idea on something to try next, and now you'll never know my intuition.
Crow might bring you back.
I might.
You might.
Alright, Xavier, it's your turn.
I don't know. You guys did just boom raid. I don't know.
Oh, there's no way that would have worked. 8, it would have been an 8 with my normal strength.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay, Scylla, death save.
Well, that's a failure.
Okay. Crow. Crow. What you doing?
Guess I'll unhappily try to keep people up.
Just because of one thing. One thing.
I will no, I'm not do that. I don't want to use a second level spell. I'll just cast Guiding Bolt.
You'd have to cast it at Glabagul because he is inside of Glabagul.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll cast that with this one.
Okay.
Or I'll do this.
Okay. That's probably smart.
Dirty 20.
Hits.
46. 11 plus 5, 16. 16 damage.
You killed it. Vaporized it. Which is really good because, I'm not going to lie, it was going to keep attacking Scylla. It's a shadow. So,
Bonus action, spare the dying.
and Scylla's back to 1. Oh, look at
Do
you
I
bring
still
people
have
back.
That point removed from my max HP.
Yes. Currently, yes. Okay, so that's Crow's turn. The shadow that is inside of Glabagool is going to try and escape him. That might work. Yes, he is able to escape. But that is his turn. Ray. It is your turn.
I'm gonna try to hit this shadow again,
Mm-hmm.
as one does.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm getting worse at it. Actually, you know what? No.
Hey, that hits.
15. Yeah, take that 4 damage. Well, take that 2 damage.
2 damage. Hey, it's still damage, right?
Yep. I'm holding out for Crow. I know Crow's gonna save my ass.
Alright, that is your turn. And Glabagool is just going to try and engulf the shadow again. Yeah, he does. He rolled a 2 on his save, so. Alright, so he is engulfed, and he is going to... Oh, I didn't hit the thing. Hi, Mies. He's going to do some damage. Pretty good damage. Alright, so that's 12 acid damage, halved is 6, and he is restrained again. This shadow does not look happy. He has not been able to do nearly any damage except for the damage he did on Glabagool so far. So that's fun. Okay, so that is his turn. And now is the shadow's turn. They are going to attack Ray and Crow, like usual. Ray, yours is a 22 to hit.
Oh, I'm down. I'm almost certainly down.
Okay. And Crow, yours is a 16.
Yes.
Okay.
AC's 20.
Yeah, Ray, that's 11 points. So, yeah, you're down. And you're going to take... Oh, I just threw that. Subtract 3 from your strength.
Oh.
So you're at 6 now. Not feeling good, besides the fact that you're down. Okay, so that is their turns. Xavier. Ray's not looking good right now.
Can I run over here and use a healer's kit?
Yeah, that'd be your action, but you can do that.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, so take away 1 charge, and Ray, you are back to 1. Okay, is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, next up is Scylla.
Alright, I'm going to drink a potion of healing.
Oh, okay.
10 HP, right?
Potion, yeah.
Alright, and then I'm going to cast Acid Splash on this one. So that's for acid damage.
It failed. So,
Alright.
okay.
I help.
Yes. So again, it is resistant to it, so it only did half, but still did some damage. Looking a little worse. Alright, that is your turn, Crow.
Physical attacks seem to have been passing through it, right?
I mean, they're landing, but it doesn't seem to do as much as it could have. Yeah, it's kind of like passing through. It does seem like some other attacks are also kind of resistant.
Hold the dead.
On which one?
On the one that's not attached to me.
Okay. Wisdom save. It got a nat 1, so it failed.
Yay!
Pretty bad, and it is injured.
12 damage!
12?
Yeah, max damage.
Yeah, you killed it. Alright, that is your turn. The demon is going to try and escape again. It did not. Of course. Wow. The 29 points of acid damage. That is quite a hefty amount from Glabagool. Glabagool has taken half of this creature's health. just by eating it. Like, just want you to know. All right, so that is that creature's turn. Ray, you're not feeling good.
I'm sure not. I think I'm gonna try to. I guess I'll viciously mock the one that is by Crow.
Okay, that's a wisdom save. It got a what's its wisdom? 17.
Well, it saved.
Next up is Glabagool. He's going to, I guess, just chill. Like, yeah, there's a shadow on Crow, but he can't really quite get to him with everyone else in the way, so he's just gonna chill. He's just gonna digest. So it is the shadow's turn, just on Crow. That is a 17 to hit you, Crow.
Nope.
Okay. Says it's turn, Xavier.
Oh, I'm gonna dart over here and use my breath weapon.
It got a 18, so it succeeds. So, do damage and then I'll have it quickly. Okay, so it's gonna take 4 damage. Wow, it didn't even take any damage yet, so that's fine.
That sucks.
It's okay. It's not super hardy. Okay, so that is your turn. Next up is Scylla.
I'm gonna cast poison spray this time.
It failed. So it takes 9
Yeah,
poison.
9 poison.
Is it resistant to poison? That's the question. It's immune to poison.
Oh man!
So it did not do any damage.
Damn it!
Oh, I'm so sorry. Alright, well, that's your turn. Crow, you still have a shadow on you.
I'll slap it with my staff. That one.
Oh, man. Roll percentage dice for me, please.
42.
Yeah, you just miss. Okay, so that is your turn. The Shadow Demon is going to try and escape again. Not doing... Oh my gosh, he's not doing well. Keep rolling good damage. 10, 18, 20, 22 points of damage. So that's 11 damage to the Shadow Demon. That's what it is. I said the name. It's a Shadow Demon. Which, lucky for you guys, Glabagool has been dealing with it, because it is hardy. Alright, Ray, what are you doing?
Gonna keep trying to viciously mock the one that I'll try to mock the one that Glabagool's dealing with. That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna say
He failed.
aha, awesome. 50s dinner looking bitch, I say.
With 1.
Well, an attempt was made.
Okay, so that is that much damage. I mean, he's not looking good inside of Glabagool at the moment. He's not looking good. Alright. Glabagool is going to still chill. The Shadow is going to keep attacking Crow with a nat 20.
My AC.
I mean, it's a nat 20 also, so you know.
I know.
That's going to be 16 points of necrotic.
16.
And your strength goes down by 4. 4 for your raw number. Okay. Where are you at right now with your strength?
8.
Okay.
I took 16 damage, right?
Yes. Okay, so that is that turn. Xavier.
I'm trying to hit it. 13?
That hits.
Yes.
You're probably gonna murk it. I would imagine.
12.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, that's exactly how much I had. So.
I'll be at 12. Regardless, like I said, so.
Yeah. All right, it is dead. Scylla. So the only thing that's left is the demon that's inside of Glabagool.
Oh man. Right. I'm gonna go, Gladiable, spit it out!
Oh, okay.
Why?
You know what?
Spitting it out.
He'll use his reaction to spit him out.
Okay. And then I'm going to cast, oh shoot. I'm going to cast Magic Missile at it.
Ooh.
Magic
Really?
nipple, not magic missile.
Magic Nipple.
Magic nipple.
Theo, you can roll it 3
Oh,
times.
I thought you said you were going to use your breast weapon.
Theo, do it 3 times, remember?
Oh, thank you.
Hey, there we go. Alright, he is not looking good. He's looking pretty bad right now from all that. Okay, so that is your turn, Crow. So this Shadow Demon does not look good.
Toll the dead.
Failed.
Come on, max damage. Let's go. 3.
3. Well, he's better than 3, so.
Bonus action. Healing word.
Okay.
On muscle.
It is going to, now that it is free, it's actually going to still continue attacking Glabagool because, you know, that's the thing that caused it so much damage. So it is going to attack Glabagool. My God. Rolled a 7. Oh, wait, no, that's enough. His AC 6, so, yeah, that was enough.
Why did you make Glabagool spit it out?
Doesn't it hurt him to have stuff in him?
No?
I thought it did.
10 points of psychic damage. Just the same amount as I did last time. Glabagool looks fine. Didn't hurt really that much. Okay, so that's his turn. Ray.
Well, I mean, it's out now, so I guess I'll just, I'll keep insulting it. Oh wait, did it have disadvantage on that last attack it just did on Glabagool?
Yeah.
Oh. You know what, I'm just
Decent.
gonna keep insulting it.
Failed.
Yeah! This'll show ya. Y'all know.
It is still alive. Wow. You guys are whittling it down at this point.
Get shape.
Alright, Glabagool is not going to engulf him. He's just going to slap a pseudopod on him. Oh my gosh, I think he's going to kill him. Because it hits. I hope Glabagool kills him, oh my god. Oh yeah, there's no way, because the minimum damage he could do is 3 on this attack. So he kills him. Glabagool killed a Shadow Demon. I want that to be for the record.
I believed in him all along.
Like, he did... I'm just telling you right now, a Shadow Demon has 66 HP. He did 50 of that HP worth of damage.
No surprises here. Glabagool is the one.
Jeez.
Okay.
So as Glabagool kind of, like, he basically slaps him with his pseudopod, and it just disperses. When it disperses into shadow, a gemstone falls off from, like, the body of the creature. And, when it falls to the ground, you see it kind of pulse this, like, pinkish blue. And, Scylla, you kind of feel that chill go through you again.
I'm going to approach it, and without touching it, I want to do an Arcana check.
So I would have you roll, but as you approach it, it slides towards you, and it lands in your hand.
I drop it.
Okay, you drop it. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check. Oh, a nat 20, jeez. So...
Oh, wait, hold on. I have a plus. I clicked athletics, but I have. Yeah,
Oh.
all right, never mind.
It's a nat 20. It's whatever.
Yeah.
So you weren't really sure what it was, but when it came to you and you touched it, you just felt like this strong sense of like chaotic energy come from it. But like energy that feels like your energy, like this like sorcerous chaotic energy. that feels very much like you. And when you look at it again, like a little closer, you see these like spiraling patterns kind of twisting and turning like smoke inside of this like, again, it's like kind of like a purplish, bluish kind of gemstone. And you have in front of you this. It is an astral shard. So it seems to only want you. Because even when you dropped it, it kind of shot back up into your hand. It comes from the astral plane. As an action, you can attach the shard to a tiny object, such as like a piece of jewelry or something. I was thinking like your spellcasting focus. And then you can attune to it. You can use the spell as your focus, but you don't have to. Basically, when you use the meta magic option on a spell while you're holding or wearing the shard, immediately after casting the spell, you can teleport to an unoccupied space you see within 30 feet of you.
Ooh.
So the way I see this is, it like I said, you dropped it and then it kind of shot back up into your hand, and then it kind of like jumps over to your arcane focus, and it kind of is just like kind of hovering underneath it, kind of like it's a bangle on your focus. Like it's like an invisible string is kind of attached to your focus now. And it.
All right.
And now
yeah,
you.
I'm
No, go ahead.
down for that.
All right, and you now have your magic item. So I put that into your folder. Yeah. So it seems like it's quiet. Glabigal kind of like it quivers and goes, "Oh, that was weird. Wonder what all those shadows were from."
Demons? Yes, demons. Summon them, maybe.
Dawnbringer pipes up in your head, Xavier, and goes, "Maybe they came from the tomb? I didn't know that shadows were in there, but it's possible."
That is interesting.
Remember, you're the only one that can hear Dawnbringer. So you just say, that's interesting to...
Sorry. Dawnbringer said she thinks it's possible that there were shadows, but she doesn't know why.
I'm going to assume that anything that you say that I don't really feel like listening to is you talking to Dawnbringer.
I would say it's safe.
Sarah goes, "Oh, well, that aside, do you want to stay here for the rest of, like, for a long rest? Because you all look pretty tired." What was that?
I would like a long rest, yes.
Oh.
Just took one.
But we need
You
another
walked
one.
for a day.
No, you guys walked for most of the day, and okay.
It's fine. We'll take a long rest.
Okay.
Might as well be done.
Yeah, so you guys will rest for the night. Let's go ahead and quickly run through all of your watches. So, Crow, is there anything that you do during your watch? Oh, and by the way, as you guys rest for the night, your strength goes back to normal. It went back to normal after 2 hours. So, Crow, is there anything that you do during your watch and during the night?
No, I just keep an eye out. Try to remember more about my past.
Do you want to roll a history check to see if you can remember anything?
Sure. That one.
I think with like all the knowledge that you got from the staff, it was a little overwhelming for you. You haven't had that powerful of a memory in a long time, so you're kind of still trying to process that, you know. And I think even for you, you're not even sure. I think because of a nat 1, you're not even sure if that was a real memory. Like, you just have a moment of like, wait, is that real, or am I just imagining that happened? Because I think sometimes, you know, in this like very long amount of time that you've been down here, you've imagined things like, you know, of your past to kind of try and like pass the time. So you wonder for like a brief moment, like, was that real, what you remember? I will say it's brief. You're pretty sure that happened, but you just have that moment of confusion. Ray, is there anything that you do?
I'm gonna be back a book.
I thought so.
Correct.
All right, roll an Arcana check with advantage because of your cipher.
If we get sucked into something.
Oh, but I'm also turning my back to Crow.
If we get sucked
Oh.
into something right at the end of this, I'm gonna be so mad.
Wait, I'm curious. Why are you turning your back to Crow?
Crow told me that he saw me working on my book, and now I don't want to see it. I'm gonna be like, yep, I'm not doing anything.
Okay, yeah, roll an Arcana check with advantage. 10. Okay. Well, a 10 is just good enough, honestly. Just to tell you that the DC is usually 10 for these checks, because you have the cipher. Like, it's pretty much you're just copying. Really, it's not even really that hard for you anymore to translate. Yeah. So you look through the book. I'm assuming you're going on to the next chapter. Because if you remember, you had that like kind of block that you can't get past chapter 4. It seems as far as like translating the names of the chapters. Okay, so you look through chapter 2, and you are able to translate the first page, similar to when you had translated The Joy of Extra-Dimensional Spaces. So just to remind you, this chapter is called Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions, and you translate... Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions is a collection of essays donated by Yalarin Highscroll to the Society of Brilliance. This chapter was compiled at the markets of Baldur's Gate. The essays often go on long tangents, and the topics are varied, although it is clear that divinity, the denizens of the universe, and the nature of magic are subjects of particular interest. So I will go ahead and show everyone this. It's just a chapter of the book, as another chapter within the book. But as you read this, the book starts to flutter again.